Good evening, and welcome to Kevin Toll Reads. So today I have the book review of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first book in the Harry Potter series. This was published in 1997, and actually in the UK, it was published under Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And then the following year, it came to the United States in 1998, and it was published under the name of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is obviously written by J.K. Rowling. It's a classic in many people's top 10 fantasy series. This is one of the aforementioned ones. I have never read the series, and this is the first go at Harry Potter. So, in terms of summary, this book really obviously is about an orphan named Harry Potter who goes to live with his aunt and uncle and their son, Dudley. They bully him. He's really kind of forgotten about. He's always a nuisance to them. And so he grows up until the age of 11 when he receives a letter inviting him to Hogwarts School of Wizards and Witches. And as he embarks upon that taking, he's befriended by Hagrid, who is a half giant, and they go out and buy supplies. And when the day finally comes, he takes off for Hogwarts School. And in doing so, he realizes there's this mystique about him, and that he's famous, and that the scar on his forehead, the lightning bolt scar on his forehead, is not what he thinks it is. He thinks it's something he acquired when his parents were killed in a car accident. And so he uncovers his past, and as all the while acclimating to school life as an 11-year-old at a private school for special kids and wizards and that kind of thing. And so it's really, it's really kind of an understanding of, how that dynamic works, a coming of age kind of dynamic. And he also has to navigate not only the schoolwork, meeting kids, having this mystique about being Harry Potter that everyone kind of knows about, and the fact that, he's not liked by everyone, and what professors and teachers have his back and which ones don't. And so there's a lot of mysterious in what's the Sorcerer's Stone and how that comes into play. That's kind of the synopsis of the book. Obviously, I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things I like. Obviously, we get into probably some details and spoilers here. So if you haven't read the series, which I'm probably the only one that hasn't at this point, but you might want to turn it off. In terms of likes, I really liked Hagrid as a character. He's a half giant. He befriends Harry at the very beginning. He kind of stays with him. He's the one that writes him the letters that the owls bring to him. He's the one that buys him, the owl. And so from the get-go, there's definitely a bond of friendship and relationship. And so I think that was really good. Draco Malfoy, he's definitely a necessity character. He's, the good versus evil. He's this evil boy. It's definitely an interesting dynamic, and it was definitely one that worked really, really well. I liked Malfoy as a character because, again, he was needed. As Harry's the yin, he's the yang. So I really like that. The Quidditch, Harry becoming like a first year student that actually is, on a broomstick doing participating in Quidditch as in team and for his team in his house. He's one of the four houses. He's Gryffindor. And so that was interesting. I thought, I really liked that. And it was definitely, I like the fact that he was really instantly good at flying a broom and how they get them the souped up broom, the special broom. And he comes to realize that his father was also a really good rider. So he's a seeker on the Quidditch team. I really liked Ron and I don't know how to pronounce her name, Hermione. I thought those two were definitely, I could tell that there was going to be a friendship there. And obviously it is very rocky at first because she's a know-it-all, and Ron, is the poor kid, and Harry's the, orphan kid with Mystique, is he the chosen one type thing. There's a really good dynamic amongst the three of them, so I really like their characters. I definitely like the fact that towards the end, they were getting along, and she goes to bat for them when she could get them in trouble, and I thought that was interesting. I really liked the plot. The pace of this book is just fantastic. I mean, the world building, the character development, it seems just so not rushed, so organic, just unfolds. It's like you're sitting at a fire just listening to this perfect story type thing, and I really enjoyed that. Which leads me into my next. This is almost a perfect book. Almost. And I am, again, like, oh my gosh, he's not going to give this a 5.0. It's almost a perfect book. I'm a very hard grader. I have one dislike. Just one. And it's me being very nitpicky because I was really close to this. This maybe is a 5.0 book, but I didn't. The confrontation at the end with the Professor Quirrell, I think it is. I was hoping for a confrontation, and what I got really was something happens and Harry wakes up in the infirmary and he's learning what happened from Dumbledore and others. And so I really was hoping that was going to be maybe if there was one more chapter where there actually was. I know Harry's green, he's brand new, they don't really know spells that much, like I was hoping there was going to be some kind of confrontation there when Harry go after him and Ron gets knocked out with the chess pieces, and I thought Harry was going to maybe, come to blows, or there was going to be some kind of duel, and there wasn't, and it kind of felt like a little bit of a cop-out, like with this. I think if you just give me one chapter and give me a little bit, and then maybe if something happens within the duel and then he wakes up and you're learning about what ends up happening from Dumbledore's perspective, and then the awarding of points for the different houses. And I think if there would have been more of that, it would have been a perfect book. It would have been a complete 5.0, and without a doubt. With that being said, and me being such a hard grader, I give this book a 4.9, which is tied for the highest rated book I've rated on the channel. So, before you lambast me in the comments, it is phenomenal. I cannot get past. I mean, it's YA. It's definitely YA. I mean, there's a huge contrast difference between this book and Joe Abercrombie, or this book and Harry Dresden, or I've read the Rothfuss books, Patrick Rothfuss, the King Killer Chronicles, the first 2.5 books. Definitely a huge contrast there in terms of fantasy. This is definitely YA, but it's good. It's very, very good. I'm very excited, to continue the series, which I will. I've got so many series going on. But that's my review. That's my only dislike, was that I wish there was one more chapter with that duel between Professor Quirrell and Harry at the end, and then they could go to the flashback where Harry wakes up in the infirmary. If that would have happened, this would be 5.0, without a doubt. So, with that being said, 4.9, it's tied with Jurassic Park as the highest rated book on the channel. I am very excited. I really, really, really enjoyed reading this book. So, I can't wait to continue. And that's my review. I hope you're having a great Sunday evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.